Rings. Thank you for joining us. Fritzy's here. It's already knocked out. Didn't take long for that. All right. This is the goddess of Washington. Greetings. We're going there. Um, so that's like the Columbia. Um, so again, yeah, the District of Columbia, which is also, I would say the Statue of Liberty is kind of connected to that to a certain degree. Not exactly, but I'm going to go with that anyway. Yeah, the Statue of Liberty, I guess, is based on a couple of things, but Columbia is pretty much the same thing. But also, I don't pay attention to anything, but apparently Britain has their own kind of Columbia. I can't remember the name. I'll bring it up here in a second. Anyway, it's not that much different than what we have because we copy, or we're just the same as the British, which is pretty much the same. We're just a different coat of paint. That's all. We have the Kardashians instead of the Queen. Jeez, gotta help us all. So, and also CERN rituals. So, but maybe not the way you might think. Of course, CERN, they do have rituals there. Of course, you can't. They have one online, but they probably do. I don't know if they're going to still do that, but what I felt around Washington D.C., they are in the early stages of it. There were CERN-like rituals there too, or secret society rituals that have the same vibration as what you would see in CERN. So I know it sounds a little bit weird there, but yeah, it's like the energy is basically manipulate the good people of the world. They're doing a pretty good job of that. And also Jesuit cathedrals, that's in Washington, D.C. I'm going for that direction also. Washington just, might as well. They make corruption look like a good thing. And they make it look like a new suit, or that's popular to be that way. It's freaking disgusting. I guess they're on their 3-week vacation. Just they're ironing out their horns, their devil's horns. Yeah, they're wait. I guess they're going to do the whole January 6th thing when they're starting to, the acting. They're really worried about and everything. Such a bunch of melodrama queens. That's a fucking joke. Well, they got nothing going for themselves, so they got to do something. So yeah, this week is not very clear. It's really hard to say. Colorado got hit pretty good, but Colorado is a little strange. They burned half of it down, or a good portion of it down, then it snows, and that's the end of that. So it's kind of bizarre timing for that one. Okay. So I'm talking to comic private sessions. The scheduler, the shop here. I think I'm on the 18th. Same situation here. Webinar sign up, social networking behind the scenes. And there's Fritzy. She's sort of awake. Not really. I think this is it. Oops. Oh, this is the largest cathedral. This is the largest cathedral in Washington, D.C. It looks like a mosque. It's creepy. It's the largest Catholic church in North America. And it's in Washington, D.C. That's what led me to Washington, D.C. Is that it too? Creepy. So I'm going to jump over to Chicago. This is the Holy Name Cathedral. I wonder what hell looks like. I think that's what it looks like. I think hell looks a lot like that. Little cross up there. There's a doorway into the lower dimensions. Back to Washington, D.C. Oh, you don't need that. So Columbia. Say some of the Statue of Liberty is based on that, but Also, you have the British Britannia, whatever her name is, and it's pretty much not much different, really. A little bit more conservative, but um, it's probably not that popular with a lot of people. But it's still kind of weird. And this is the propaganda crap. Of course, you have the Columbia. Either way, it's so I think there's connections to the. It's like creepy. It's all creepy here in good old USA. I don't know what the end game is. All this. We're just gonna be weirded out for a long time. Of course, you have the Washington D.C. monument and the street grid. That's nothing new, but it's always nice to visit that every once in a while. It's definitely a haven for rituals in the past. And this is in Washington D.C. This is the cathedral, and it looks like that's where the bad guy lives. It's like some evil fortress. I guess the good guys could be there, but it looks more evil than it looks good. A little evil fortress going on there. What could be yeah, and it's a nice Tartarian construction there. Yeah, whatever. Bunch of corruption. It just, I guess that's where corruption cures its karma. I'm sure it is. So the goddess of Washington D.C. Yeah, it's not exact. It's basically Washington D.C. is just a ritual. The whole place is just I imagine a lot of that will start to go down one of these days. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, what's the end game to all this? It's just we see the evil, we see the politicians just blood sucking as usual. Where is all this going anyway? It's just. I mean, of course, we're in the brand new year, so I guess when March it starts kicking in. I still feel January. It's just they're still waking up, so I wouldn't expect a whole lot this week, but you never know. It depends if they get out of bed and want to screw the world up a little bit more. So we'll see. Yeah, that isn't exactly the best thing as a channel at this time. Jeez, it's like channeling mud. So I guess we'll connect to any of that anyway. So the goddess of Washington D.C. Yeah, obviously black magic, manipulating the good people that do nothing. Well, how can you do anything? You're trying to survive. So of course they're using. I feel Mormon energy there. I don't know if there's any Mormon. I guess there's Mormon churches there somewhere. That's wasn't expecting that one. I have to go back to my NSA Rolodex. More Mormon Washington D.C. Church. I don't know if they have a. Imagine they do have the Church of. Jeez, I can't remember what I look. Jeez. Oh. Oh God, really? That's kind of frightening. It just gets better and better here. Sure, what's up? I wonder what it looks like. Let's see here. Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. I guess that's a temple. Is that a Mormon church? I think it's a Mormon. It's a creepy church. I think it's a Mormon church. Let's go back to this creepiness. Yep, it's the Church of Latter-day Saints. Yeah. Everything looks fine there, though. It's fine. Everything's going good. Man, come on. There's the backside of it. What the? It was like a. Everything's just fine. It just gets better and better. I'm not sure where this is all going. Yeah, there's definitely a Mormon presence there, which is that it's pretty much a cult all on its own. Yeah, people talking out about trying to leave the Mormon church and everything. It's like Scientology basically for religion. So, yeah, like torture people and make them enjoy it. something about, I think it's in the Mormon church, where Jesus is like building a church over there in America. I guess after their cross. Something like that. Anyway. Okay, so going to the goddess of Washington D.C. and maybe connect to somebody else. I don't want to connect to the goddess of Washington D.C. I don't feel like getting possessed at this time. Connect to Palladian energies, I guess. Something like that. And we're going to, yeah, we'll just get outside points of view. Shit. I don't know. Where is this all? Yeah, it's like, is there going to be like, is this, we just know about this stuff and just take it? Or, I mean, what are you going to do? Anyway. All right. Jeez. It really does explain the more of that stuff you see is just, obviously the politicians that just justify, oh, they're evil and just that's normal and everybody hates them and they just don't care and have a God complex. We have future generations that want to be just like them because they're more disgusting. So, yeah, anyway. Okay, all right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings. About the Palladians. What are you guys, your planets or your planet decide upon all of this. Yes, to allow darkness to show itself, to allow that is an archon agreement with the universe, to let them lay down their energies for you to see them clearly. Of course, many people are followers of it, but not just on this world, but other worlds, they are followers of those religions. There is, yes, an elitist Illuminati energy, as many of you know, that the elitists have their own religion and they use some of that's connected to the Knights Templar, the darker side of it, to manipulate your world. Yes, it's a war on humanity to keep you shut down. They do everything they can, as you can see. They use the astral realms and use all realms to keep you closed in. And they don't expect people to believe their dreams and the astral realms for the most part. So this is why it takes the few to open up, the assist with the many. Of course, most of humans on your world will, like, if you really open up a lid on all of this, most of humanity won't understand it. They will just scratch their heads, look the other way. Some might notice that they just call it a myth or just a bunch of crazy people. But as you tap into these energies and allow it to be exposed, uh, obviously they don't care much for being exposed. Of course, this also triggers a reptilian energy that has been doing this for ancient times. Reptilian vibrations, of course, they've been programmed to do so, just as you are programmed to live in the system. They are programmed to keep the system going. So they're under a control system also. I believe some of you know that. They have no choice. Now you have a choice, technically. Maybe, well, you don't have to believe in the system. Not easy. I mean, obviously your choices aren't exactly the best, but you are allowed clues to see on how they do this. Of course, there are penalties also for you knowing too much, as from basically astral attacks, and they don't, but they can't really stop you. I mean, they can try, but as long as you keep wanting to know more about how your world operates, they can deter you. They can say you don't know what you're doing. They can get the public against you because the public is obviously shut down. But as long as you can keep your strength through all of this, you can go into the center core of how this all works. It's not an easy sight. It doesn't mean you have all. It takes time to get. It's like you're going into a cave deep down underground. And there are center points like Washington, D.C. That's one of them. It's also Seattle. Washington has some energies of manipulation, as you notice. It just doesn't make itself clear, but there are places there that are not hidden in plain sight as someplace. Washington D.C. has to show what's up there. They can't keep this hidden. So they have to put out. It's just it's like the villains have to show their buildings, their structures, um, and it's up to humanity to realize what it truly is. Even your cathedrals, you can look at it from a different dimension, and would you see something much more than you might see a good place. In another reality, see something that's yes, very evil. So there's different polarities there. There are good places there. Like the cathedrals can be full of darkness, but you can shift the vibrations and more light comes through. Um, so the astral plane can also show you, like, look at a cathedral and just what are you picking up on? What does it look like through your third eye? What comes to you? But there's always different aspects of it. So yes, it's basically Washington D.C. is like a combination. It's a locking humanity down through the government system. So here to shift it, not easily, of course. So even us as Palladian beings, not all of us are usually heard. I mean, not all Palladian beings know about all this stuff either. Very few actually get that far. There's obviously further you can go, but we're kind of keeping things kind of light compared to what's truly going on. But I believe many of you can connect to it on a different level, on a higher level. It's not always meant to be made public. Certain times, as long as you're kind of vague about it, because there is depth there that can get kind of chilling. Not everybody's ready for this type of thing. Doesn't mean people can't handle it. Some can, but most are going to look the other way. But basically, you're going into the spell work that's been done on society. Government systems have, they have symbols in their government buildings and all that. That's all a combination lock. Your UN has combination locks that create new statutes, basically to lock down humanity even more. As you go into it more, you dive into it. It might not be locking you on, but it definitely has a hold on society. So they build these statues, these monuments, for those that to control others, not necessarily for yourself, but for others. It's redefining their reality because they have to keep things going. For now, it's going to get strange. Basically, in your third eye, you can see it, like really see the ghost energies that are here. You can feel it. You can just use your own spiritual direction. It's like, yes, you're not in Kansas anymore, as they say. It's just a place of paranormal activity around your planet. Just seeing your world from a different, basically seeing the witchcraft in another dimension, or your wizardry, however you want to word it. Of course, in the physical, they just play it off as nothing. The physical, they just, it's nothing, it's fine. But obviously, it's set up that way. So you shift your vibrations, you'll see things much differently. So basically, figuring out the code. Yes, you might not be able to get all information, especially with aerospace companies. There's only so much information you can get, but there are players in the game. Yeah, all the players in the game. You can even make a list of it. Obviously, I'll make it easy to decipher, but that's you're not supposed. It's not supposed to be that easy. But every once in a while, they're allowing knowledge because they want to heal their karma, meaning that they don't want to be damned forever. These beings that are doing this, they know they have to give you a nudge into how things work. So, at least a hint, even if it makes no sense. Greetings to you. We are the CERN energies, consciousness. Realize your world is under the same control, same as Julius Caesar. Basically, the controllers of that reality is controlling yours. Yes, it's much mature, but also yes, ancient Atlantean, but much deeper than that. Basically, yes, they create civilizations. Even your Lemurians have a dark side about themselves because they know spells and magics, which are connected to the Druids. Always the darker side. Magic, as you know, is the root of everything here. Well, basically, yes, you're going back into your astral realms. But those that have created these spells, yes, locking spells that have locked reality using different, yes, symbolisms, but also just sacred sites against your societies. Of course, Stonehenge has been rewritten many times, the vibrations of it. So basically, you're going more deeper into cities that are, you can call them like spell cities, cities that are there to have rituals. Any type of even prayer publicly in some of these places is more of a spell. What God are they speaking to? And sometimes it's Horus. It all depends on the situation. It does go back to the Egyptian vibrations once again. Well, because what happened to them, the Dark Order is happening to you currently. So, but you're allowed to have more of a voice. Doesn't mean people listen to you. They can deter you, but you're having more of a voice of unlocking the secrets of your Earth. There's also fairy realms that are used against your planet too. Nature. So nature, there's a darker side of Agartha that's being used. It's causing a lot of difficulties in your forests, and many spiritual realizations have to be made for the Earth to fully unlock itself from all this. Yes, the alien energies, but also the Agarthian vibrations that are not easy to pick up on a spiritual level. Agarthian beings are most of the time hidden. Aliens are a little bit easier to tap into, depending, especially reptilian beings that are similar to your vibration. Agarthian beings are basically unseen for the most part. Your goddess of Columbia, yeah, she has some narcissistic energies used by Sophia to manipulate man. Basically, it shows that the feminine is still more powerful than the masculine. Basically, the feminine spell being used. So, so basically, Columbia is like another version of Sophia, a matrix being controlling society. So, not to say Columbia is all bad, no. Doesn't even mean that Sophia is all bad. It's just that there are parts that are controlling society. So, yeah, Sophia has different ways of showing herself, and much of it has to do on a lot of these statues that are controlling society. So you wonder where Sophia is, and now you have an idea of where. And the ritual is just, as you know, to keep the vibrations going, keeping the control. Those that are being controlled here are controlled by ancestors that goes on and on within the root families. So they're always going to have the younger families playing ball with society, but the older ones are staying hidden. So yeah, they don't want to get attention to themselves, but they can't always hide forever. And sometimes it's better you don't know them until you're prepared. Like those know the true families that are running society, because it can be they know what they're doing. They can cause a lot of energy disruption in you. So you have to be truly ready, like really mentally, physically prepared to deal with people like this. Not that many of you will, but some of you will. You pick them up, especially in the astral plane, they come around all the time. So a lot of the elite beings, they usually show up in gold, sometimes some gold or just covered in gold. It all depends on the situation. Greetings to you. We are the Jesuit consciousness. So, yeah, what we're going to say is obviously not for everyone. But The feminine is the controlling feminine is there to take down the masculine, control the masculine, to use the masculine hidden and secretly, Jesuit energies to manipulate man. But basically, much of these Jesuits are puppets of the sacred feminine that is there to manipulate society. Ancient Atlantean vibrations, the spell work, spell masters. Yes, they use their cathedrals, of course, to lower the vibrations of others, basically showing they have more power than you. So a lot of these cathedrals are also seen on other planets, meaning they can mirror their energies on other worlds. And also there they control people. So you have people, it's even the certain time, like Sundays at a certain time, on other realities, there's churches like mirrored on those other worlds, even other versions of Earth where there are people there too. And some of those realities where churches are actually having rituals control the people in your reality. Meaning, yeah, just it's a little bit deep here. So cathedrals are built to communicate with other planets. Of course, any building can do so, but cathedrals are designed in such a way for it to be noticed, to have a harmonic energy about it through visuals and sound. So it is talking to space, technically. It knows what it's doing too. It is connected to reptilian energy, connects to archon, it connects to all, just anything to keep a harmonic hold on your planet. As you know, with the faith based system, to get people to give in, a doorway into the underworld, doorway into basically the control masters. So, yes, archon beings are also seen with wings, almost like some of them can look gargoyle like, creatures of the night. If you want to truly, so to go out there for some of you, you can visualize a gargoyle being. Not all gargoyles are, first off, not negative, not far from it, but there are negative gargoyle beings that can be seen in your spirit energy, in your third eye, controlling these cathedrals, especially when they have gargoyles actually built into it. Notice how some of these cathedrals have kind of strange little creatures there done for a reason. It shows you who's the operator of that building. So, uh, so of course, many are having difficulties adjusting to this new way of looking at your world's going more astral. It takes a while to get there. You don't have to make anyone believe anything. You connect to your own connections. That's all that matters. The rest of the world is programmed like a computer, and you choose not to be a program, but you're kind of like a program, but you're like a rogue program. Some might see you as a virus, but you're not a virus to hurt anybody, but you are a virus to change things for the better. So they'll see you as a virus, but you see your energy of light. Others will see of you as wrong. So it's kind of like you're like a spiritual hacker, you can say. But you're not out to harm anyone. You're to unlock. And of course, those that are controlling society see you as a threat. So it gets complicated. Others that are, yes, part of the New Age movement, this is not for them. Far from it. Now, it's like some of them turn into trees, they turn into grass, they turn into nature in a good way. That's all they can handle. Wind. And a lot of them have incarnations as nature, and they even say it. But that's all they can do. Yeah, they'll back you. But they're not the knight or female or male knight to go into the forest. That's terrifying to most. Some of you are willing to go further and question reality and constantly disconnect from what you're being told. So just what energy is going, the only thing they can really do is just stop, try to deter you from going into their energies and looking deeper into how they control things. But yes, they are one of the masters of your reality, not all of them, not the center point, not as many of them. Because if one goes down, they have another one. So that's why you have all these secret societies that your public is not going to mention. Of course not. Well, that's part of the game, is to keep them hidden. Yeah, they have to have all these different groups. And new groups are always created practically every day, just in case another one messes up. and goes down, becomes weak, or just needs to be destroyed because it's been exposed. So there's a lot of trickster energies. It gets strange, but we believe many of you will start to see portions of how this reality is operating. Not the full piece. They don't want you to see everything. It's like the chessboard. You can only see so much. But there is much to be unraveled.